So it looks like the pavilion slash outdoor kitchen is home to a couple robins. They built a nest up in the rafter area, and looks like Mama's sitting over right now while Dad he's buzzing me, giving me warning. So I was gonna do a bit of work on it today, but I think I'll leave it until nesting season's over, just to give them some peace. I'm not sure that the young ones or the little ones have hatched yet. Not sure. I don't see a lot of activity up there, so I think they're just kind of protecting their eggs. I don't suspect it'll be too much longer before they're hatching, so we'll give her another month or so, and then I'll get back to working on the pavilion here. But while the robins are here and their nest is here and their babies are here, I'm not doing a thing to it, so I don't want to disturb them. I've got other things I can do in the property. Fill up the wood shed. I got to get that sawmill going, and I kind of want to make some planks for the roof for the second firewood shed. And of course there's grass to cut. We've had quite a bit of rain here the past little while, but we've also had a lot of sun and heat at the same time, so it's like the perfect combination for grass to grow like really quick. So it's really greening up out here. And with this wonderful weather, I'll be planting my garden today. I got my plants already started, so I just got to clean up the beds and get them prepped and ready for the new plants for this year. And I'm hoping that this year will be much better than last year. So far the spring's been like top notch. It's been almost a perfect balance of sun and moisture. So, but I'm not going to be relying just on the rain this summer, so I got to fill up my rain barrels. They're empty right now. I usually fill them up with snow at the end of spring and let them melt, and usually it gives me probably 2/3 of a barrel of water per barrel. So they're can't remember, 200 liter barrels, so it'd be 600 liters of water. But what I got to do now is I got to haul water from town and pump it in with my little pressure washer. Just fill up my portable tank and then bring it out here and fill up the rain barrels with water, and that should be good for in case there's a bit of a drought or whatever. Anyway, let's get to it. These beds actually don't look so bad right now. A little bit of weeding and prep the soil, and I can plant. I've got a bunch of grass clippings from the spring so far saved up. Now we'll layer those over the top of the beds as well. See, the dirt is nice and moist. A lot of moisture in there. And little thistles. Okay, beds are prepped. Got all the weeds out. Kind of agitated the soil. The cover of leaves, I kind of mix them in the dirt a bit. I've got fresh grass clippings I'm going to put on top, so that those leaves are going to start decaying into the soil, giving it nutrients, as well as the grass clippings. Should be a pretty good balance of nutrients. I think this year I'm going to plant tomatoes in this bed, and then the squashes over in that bed. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, this is kind of how it's going to lay out. Tomatoes there. And then over there I've got two gigantic Atlantic pumpkin plants. It's going to kind of let those two live in that bed, see how well they do. And then over here, kind of right here on this side here, this bed here, it's going to be pickling cukes. And that bed there is, I've got zucchinis. or no, not zucchini, that's spaghetti squash. And then this bed here will be, I got a couple of zucchini plants. So overall, I got my plants are going to be spaced out more than they were the past couple years. Like last year, in this bed here, it was all squash. I squished all the squash in there. I'm not sure if that's affected them somehow. But I'm just going to spread these plants out more, see how well they do. They might have been crowded last year too. That's why they didn't do so well. We'll see how it works out this year though. Okay, so I got all the beds planted. Tomatoes, the pumpkins, spaghetti squash, pickling cukes, and a couple of zucchini plants. See how well everything does. I've rotated everything from previous years, the beds that they're in. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I do need more grass clippings to create that layer of mulch to help with the bed's moisture level throughout the summer. I'll be cutting grass around here today, so that'll help out, but throughout the summer I'll be stockpiling grass in the compost bins and adding as needed. I don't have any dry leaves right now. I won't be able to get those to the fall, but I'm thinking I have enough dry leaves as the base layer for the beds. That'll be good. And then in the fall, when I put the beds to bed, I'll throw another big layer of brown leaves on, and just keep layering it like that, creating its own soil, so to speak. So yeah, all we gotta do now is wait. Right now these plants aren't looking that great, looking kind of puny, maybe a little bit of transplant shock, but I'm hoping here in next week or two that they're gonna take off, because I think we're supposed to have continuation of the perfect weather, where it's periods of rain and then nice hot sun. Let's hope I can produce lots of vegetables this year. Last year was pathetic. Okay, time for lunch. Oh, also those in there. So I ended up making a whole pile of hamburgers last night back at my house. And I had a bunch extra, so rather than come out here and cook a meal, thought I'd just utilize and use up. The meals are already cooked up, so nice cold burger. It's still really good. And on a nice hot day, it's surprisingly good having a cold hamburger. It's kind of refreshing. Cheers. So it's turned out to be a really nice day today. Nice and warm. There's not so many bugs. There's got a nice breeze going on. That's probably why there's not so many bugs. Cut that lawn, cut the grass. It looks actually really good. I just gotta do grab the grass trimmer, whippersnipper, and do like the unplanted lawn stuff. Up by the cabin's pretty shaggy looking right now. Long grass and dandelions, and then in and behind where the garden is has to get done as well. And then in behind the cabin, over by where the back of the wood mill, I gotta clean that up as well. So probably won't get to that today. I've got some other stuff I want to get done. I want to do a couple little small things on that second wood shed. Just a couple little things that I saw I want fixed. And then I'm gonna start plugging away at putting that wood in that firewood shed. Figure if I could do a little bit every time I'm out here, it'll be cleaned up lickety split. And same with the firewood up by the first firewood shed there, all that spruce that's been sitting there for a year. I'll be able to tuck that into that firewood shed and get it ready for winter. And I think the next time I'm out, I'm going to be firing up that wood mill. And I've got a couple poplars that I want to start slicing up. I'll do some trial and error stuff with the poplars, seeing as I don't like the poplars so much. And I was thinking, if for that roof for the second firewood shed, I'll just use it with poplar slabs. You know, if those slabs turn out, you know, all right, I'll use them for that second firewood shed. I'll have to measure that roof, but I think it's 12 feet, so I'll just make 12-foot lengths and mill them up and utilize them. See how well they last. The wood that's on the first firewood shed's spruce, so, and it's holding up all right. Turning gray, of course, but it's not rotting or anything like that. So with the second firewood shed, will be poplar. And at some point, I noticed there's a dead poplar here right by the driveway. I've got to bring down. Got to start knocking down some of these standing dead before the wind gets too crazy and knocks them down on their own. Notice there's a couple here that are a couple spruce that are dying that have to come down. It's going to be a tricky one. So all these structures that I've been building around lately, got to place them carefully. That'll definitely open up the area. Got one poplar here that I'm not too keen with either. Kind of shades the garden for a portion of the day, so I might knock it down as well just to open up the sky for the garden, help it out. Other than that, it's coming along nicely. Okay, so I got a bit of a issue here with this plywood because it's not sitting on a truss, it's just sagging down. So I'm going to put some bracing on and just bring it up so it's level. Just so it looks a bit more proper. overall pretty good day. Got what I wanted to get done finished. Garden's planted. I got the lawn portion of the yard cut to come out next time with the weed whacker and trim up the wild part that doesn't have grass seed on it yet. And I find it does help the bugs, but what I'm afraid is going to happen is I'm going to go weed whack all this underbrush and stuff, and it's going to wake them up, and they're going to be awake. Anyway, has to be done. Still working on getting a skid steer here. I really like to get one in here and level this all out, and then plant grass seed like wherever I cleared. So I think it'll lick that bug problem right up. Because the problem is the underbrush with those little critters. They like hiding in the underbrush, and that's where they live, right? So if I get rid of that, then they're not so prevalent in the yard. So anyway, that'll come, I'm sure. Still hoping. I saw there was one there last weekend at the rental spot that I go to, but I was preoccupied with something else, so couldn't do it. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, say middle of June, I'll be able to grab a skid steer and come out here and do what I need to do. Been waiting like a year and a half now, so it's about time to get done. Anyway, and plugging away at the firewood shed, filling it, moving all that wood from that pile that's been sitting there for 2 years. It's really nice and dry. Get it piled in that wood shed, and then I'll work on the wood shed up by the cabin there. Get that filled back up. It's always a nice feeling having wood sheds full of wood rather than empty. This is the time of year to do it too. Fallen green trees right now would be a good time to fall them and buck them up and get them split and piled up in a pile in the sun and just let it dry out so it's nice and dry for winter. Get rid of any moisture that's inside of it. Still lots to do, and I still got to get that wood mill going. I'll do that next time I'm out. I've got the one poplar. It's down just behind the mill there. I want to buck it up and see what kind of job the mill can do with that poplar. And if it does alright, I'm going to make slabs for the roof for the second firewood shed. So lots of work to do next time I'm out. I'll probably be making a full day, 8-10 hours for sure. So bring lots of water. I think it's going to be pretty warm that day too, with the forecast saying when I'm coming out. So have to prepare for it. Anyway, I think that's it for today. So if you made it with me this far, I thank you, and we'll talk to you later.